Hey, welcome to a new episode. This is day 3 in Malaysia. I'm kind of forgetting because we're doing so much every day. It's getting almost overwhelming, and today is going to be just the same. I'm going to check out a private collection which is all themed around Porsches, and what a great way to open this with the 992 GT3 I was driving yesterday. And a beautiful series of air-cooled Porsches on the side here. This is kind of a video version of the garage houses stories that I do on Speed Hunters, and I think I'm actually going to do a story on Speed Hunters for this because I'm just blown away by the details of this place. And we're going to speak to the owner, who's probably going to run us through all his cars and all the details, and kind of talk us through his collections and what he's kind of trying to do with each car that he owns. And so it's not even just air-cooled cars or air-cooled Porsches that he collects and enjoys. He also has this 996 Carrera 4, which has been converted to Carrera 2, so they've gotten rid of the front drive shafts. And there's so much around here. It's just so beautifully laid out with memorabilia and spare parts, including gearboxes that I could actually take and fit to my 964, but it's just basically chronicling his journey through his passion with Porsches, specifically the air-cooled generations. And his garage has been turned into sort of a museum and a kind of storage facility for the future projects that he's working on. I think he's working on 2 or 3 cars at the moment, so we'll get into that in a second, but I'll just let you bask in this crazy, crazy collection. The details are just amazing. Everywhere you look is just oozing with Porsche awesomeness. So this home is actually located in the hills kind of above KL. It's a beautiful space, very quiet, really nice neighborhood, and it just fits the whole image of, a car guy doing his thing quietly, pursuing his passion and creating things that, will eventually, much like this car that was at Art of Speed last year, become amazing driving machines. And, talking to him just now, I kind of got to feel that he's kind of a guy that really enjoys driving. He doesn't build cars just for the fact that he owns something special. He builds his cars to be driven, and to be driven hard in a very specific way. So he likes cars that are raw, that are light, that are focused. They're gonna give that visceral experience that possibly even a 992 GT3 won't give you, because of the whole kind of digital blanket that kind of keeps you away from that rawness that old cars just ooze. So it's been quite interesting to go through his cars and his incredible collection here. And one other car he's working on that's currently being prepared is a replica of this RSR Type 934. As you can see right behind the box, those are the wheels he'll be using. These are actually 17, so it's a step up from the 16s that the original race car used to run. And that means that he will be doing a single lug conversion to the hub to fit these. And he even has an original set of Fuchs wheels here. And if you look up there, right here, there's some aero discs as well. So if you're wondering why this car has all this writing on it, it's because, so the previous owner that he picked it up from, kind of asked him, you know, you're probably gonna restore and repaint this car. So why don't we just doodle on it and kind of make it interesting for the people that come to Art of Speed to kind of look at and read through. So there's quite interesting things have been done, like, you know, the explanation of the Porsche Stuttgart logo, the emblem, what it means, each section, what it means, and other cool details like a nice drawing of the engine, the rules of owning an air-cooled car, and some interesting little bits of trivia kind of around 911 ownership. Including the specs. So the aero discs that we saw on display are eventually going to be used on this car. He's got two designs. One is going to be used on one side, the other one will be probably on the other side. The engine actually had a small fire, which is what kind of led the previous owner to sell the car to somebody that would have, you know, the patience to kind of restore it and build it properly from scratch, from the ground up, from the chassis. And as you can see inside, we've been given the okay to open the doors and take a look inside. So the car used to be blue, a color the owner doesn't really particularly like, so that's going to be all stripped properly and done the right way. Okay, so I'm here with the owner. Thank you for having us here at your beautiful home and amazing.
Big fan of the channel.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, rather than me trying to remember all the details that you went through, I think we'll just have you, you know, quickly run through each of your project cars and just kind of give the main points.
Okay.
I think it'll be really interesting to hear.
Okay. Like this particular car is a 79 930. It belongs to a friend and an architect. So it had a little bit of an engine fire, so we're kind of, you know, we decided to just strip everything back to its bare basics and then start from zero again. So if you're wondering why this is all kind of sketched up, it's because we were gonna do a bare metal respray, right? So and I asked the owner, if we're gonna do that, can I just sort of doodle on it, because it was going into a show, and this happened last year.
Art of Speed, of course.
Art of Speed, yes, of course. So normally what I do is when I start any rebuild is you literally just gut the whole car. And then you find all the sins that, you know, have been done over the years. So in this case, you know, it hasn't been repainted properly. Yeah. There's a lot of corrosion. So strip all of that back, order the leather. All the engine parts have already been ordered. This car will also run a modern ECU. So we're going with a water air intercooler ITB system and probably run it on Haltech or a Motec. You know? Right. These wheels are just test fit wheels. They are actually 18 Stroseks. Those are actually my turbofans from my other car, which we'll get to later. But just to give a sense, because I've always felt that 930s, you know, they're big, brawny cars, right? But they've got 16-inch wheels. It's like a bodybuilder that didn't do leg day, you know? So what we're going to do is, I like the new Singer 930 stance, so lower the car a little bit, which explains why we're using kind of this tail, which is a little bit flatter, not the big, fat turbo tail. Sure. So just to get the sort of proportions a little bit lower. And, you know, a little bit of modern amenities with, you know, the 993 wing mirror and the door handles. So a few other things also we're doing, you know, this car will become we're doing more luxury inside, so it'll have 964 seats, full electrics. But I also subscribe to the Temple of Lightness. So it's getting carbon fiber side skirts.
Yeah, I was mentioning before that most of your cars are very specific to
Yes,
driving.
yes, light.
Light.
You know, I subscribe to Colin Chapman, you know,
Yeah.
add lightness. So this will have carbon fiber side skirts, bumpers, rear spoiler, and of course, you know, with the modern ECU in this car, I think it'll go really well.
Yeah. And then we move to
this car.
this
Well,
beauty.
this car is, the base of this car is a 1980 SC.
Okay.
And we wanted to backdate it, so that's exactly what we did. The difference is most people leave the SC flares on, and in this case we cut the flares out. I managed to find some old second-hand narrow flares from the US, shipped them in, and then welded them on, you know. So again, true to what I like for my cars is keep everything light and simple. So lightweight door cards, we gutted the interior of the sound deadening. The seats are Corbeau, they're from a Mini. And the headrests are from a BMW E36. So, you know, we found that through junkyards and just sort of
Adapted
welded
it.
it on, and then, you know, voila, there you have it, you know, looks pretty good.
It's just crazy to see, you know, being a 964 owner, just seeing the origins, just how basic, simple they
Correct,
were.
correct.
It's so nice.
Correct.
So let's take a look at the engine.
Right. So nothing too fancy in this car. It's just a stock SC engine with MSD.
Yep.
We fitted stainless steel headers and, you know, my favorite exhaust, M&K from the US, you know. So very, very simple. This car is light, small, nimble. It's on 15-inch wheels. You know, and when we go on Sunday drives with the other cars, 993s, 996s,
Beautiful.
I can't keep up, you know.
Yeah, I bet. This is what, sub-ton kind of weight?
I
Close to it?
think we're close to
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Amazing.
So it's on fiberglass bumpers, but I also added this little trim just to complete the
back
kind of
plate
look,
feel.
yeah. And you know, I like bills which are kind of OEM plus, you know.
And then we go to the other side of the,
This is
the
my
compound here.
This is my favorite car. This is what I affectionately call my IROC.
Yeah.
The chassis is an original 930. So I got this car, maybe about 20 years ago. And then when I bought it, it had no engine, no gearbox, no
Was this your first Porsche?
No, this was my third
Third, okay.
911. And when I bought it back then, you know, they weren't trendy cars. You know, nobody wanted them. So with that, I decided I wanted to build something that was kind of old school, and I liked the IROC look. So we got rid of the heavy bumper, the whale tail.
Yeah.
And for the engine, if you look here, this is actually a 79 SC. So I bought a half cut. So we took the engine and the gearbox from this car. It's a 79 SC, and reason being is because it's got big valves. So I used to run carburetors with this car before, but after a couple of years, I decided enough is enough. So I spent a little bit of money to buy PMOs on ITBs from a system in the US. It's all packaged as a system in the US from this guy called, a company called Rassant. So it's a EFI, and it's you know, easy, super reliable, starts in the morning without too much trouble.
Beautiful.
So for the interior, again, keeping the lightweight theme, everything is light. So the car has got zero sound deadening, lightweight carpets, Recaro SPG, my favorite seats, though I'm putting on a
light.
little bit too much weight, so I have to lose a little bit of weight. It has got a very nice Wevo shifter. And of course my favorite steering wheel, the Momo Model 7. This is a Gen 1996. It's a C4 manual, and it belongs to a very good friend of mine. So again, I managed to convince him that lightweight is the way to go. So it's got lightweight SPG seats as well. Now the C4 manual transmission, we removed the front drive shaft, the differential, and the torque tube. So now it's actually a C2.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's got the dreaded M96 engine issue,
right,
so
yes,
ball
indeed.
scoring.
Yeah.
So anyway, we dropped the engine. It's in Germany. It's getting a 3.8 liter conversion.
Sent all the way to Germany.
Sent all the way to Germany. So, but I don't normally drive the modern cars, but when I drove this versus all the classic air-cooled, just couldn't believe how capable they were. The only thing was soul, was lacking a little bit of soul.
Sure.
So this is a
an E.
73 911E. So
Nice.
this, because I work on a lot of what I call customer cars, I don't have time to work on my very own. So this is not going to get any retro mods. It's just going to go back to completely stock. The only thing we might do is just lower it just a little bit. That's
Okay.
it, just to level out the suspension.
Yeah. We had to take a closer look at your garage or storage facility / museum,
Right,
whatever you want to
the
call
out
it.
of control hobby.
Yeah, indeed. I
That's
mean,
the
this
out
is
of control.
amazing.
Thank
I mean,
you.
The vibe in here is just incredible.
I mean, originally this space was done to actually, I told my architect while we were sort of renovating the house to make sure that it would fit a classic 911.
Yeah.
And of course it was empty 20 years ago. But over the years, as you can see, it's just gotten, the hobby has gotten out of control. So everything you see in here is, they belong to Porsches. So this is a roll cage from a 993. These wheels are for a 934 project that
Yeah,
I'm
I
working
mentioned
on.
that before. So the
That
replica
one, yes.
of that, yeah.
This is a rebuilt pedal box for the 930 that we had a look just now.
Okay.
These are all the parts for that as well. These are the wheels, the original wheels that I'm going to use to replace the backdate that I have, because these are,
These are not
replicas.
original.
Yeah. So again, once we go lighter, the response of this car will be just better.
How much weight difference would you say there would be from this wheel to the replica?
I didn't measure, but it is, from a forged to a cast wheel.
Sure.
It's,
I mean,
it's,
even
it's
like
big.
half a kilo a corner would
Maybe,
be
yes,
something
maybe.
that you could feel.
So, I've got various other things. This is from a 1972, an air intake filter from a 1972. The whale tail from, the tails, that's from my first 911. That's from my IROC. And that's from another car that I built. So you've got another set of turbofans up there, some backdate parts.
Amazing.
I've got a 911 engine somewhere in here, inside
here?
Inside there. And this is a very tasty piece. This is a K-shifter that will go into IROC.
Oh, nice.
So it's really fantastic. The feel for this shifter is superb.
That's really cool. I see you have these crazy pipes. This is
Yeah,
what
these are the megaphones.
Yeah,
So
Nakai has these on Stella.
and they're loud.
Yeah.
They're loud. So this will go onto IROC as well. This was an award that I won last year for the Art 930,
All
the
right, you
doodle
want
car.
them nice.
So I just keep it here just to remind me. Of course, all the steering wheels, and these are all just gauges and small bits of trim. Maybe for some of your viewers, this very normal looking gearbox is actually a gearbox from a 993 RS.
Wow.
6-speed with an LSD.
That's exactly what I need.
Yeah, and before I forget, for lunch, maybe you'd like to drive one of my cars.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God. This day in Malaysia just keeps getting better. because of the pedal positioning here, it's a bit offset.
It's offset. It's
Yeah.
even more so in this car. But this has only got 220 horsepower.
Right.
And as you can tell, you can hear everything in this.
Oh, yeah,
so
indeed.
It's like, we're gonna go left. Okay, just.
Lovely response. Like, it's so much torque.
It's just torque, that's
Yeah.
it. But it runs out of torque at 5,000.
Right.
So you imagine this on the B road.
Yeah.
You know, I can keep up with a 997 easy.
Phenomenal.
And because I'm so low and the tires are so fat
Sure.
and there's so little weight,